Alrighty, guys. So I am back. Here I am again, your host, Stormer, for another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Hopefully you can see me okay as well, because I know it. Uh, the audio was not the best in the previous episode, and it was like so stinking audio intensive, dialogue intensive, line intensive. So hopefully it's a nice change on that. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can see it. Day. Stolen turnabout. Day 1 trial. October 13th, 9:36 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 4. Hey, Nick. What is it? Is something wrong? No, but did you see all the people here? It's crazy. Oh, so check out the mask-to-mask glossy I bought. Nice. You bought this where? In the little tents in front of the courthouse. They have all sorts of things for sale. You know, I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. Mask-to-mask publicity photos stuck into the court record. He shot a mask-to-mask striking pose. Come on, I'm guilty. Throw the book at me. Of course, it's Ron. I need to remember what voice I had for him, but it's still up for debate as to whether or not he is actually mask-to-mask and where the urn is. Like, all the key questions are still unanswered, even after that laborious investigation we had in the previous episode. Who's screaming like that? Who else, Pearl? Ron. Oh, well, Mr. Wright, you made it. Yeah, I did, but it doesn't look like things are going to get any less ugly for you. Because I did it! I'm the criminal! Me! Ugh, he's at it again. I sent the calling card to Lord Lee Taylor. I admit it! But you don't have the sacred urn, right? Well, that's true, but that doesn't mean that I didn't commit the crime. And they were saying he's delusional, like, I don't know what to think, dude, like... his wife is after him for the money, like, it's all very strange, like... I mean, not that part's not that strange, but, I mean, you know. Normally when I say, of course you didn't, I'm being sarcastic, but you, yikes. Anyway, I admit that I'm guilty, so make sure they give me a guilty verdict, please. First guy in the series, I think, asking for a guilty verdict. Even though, as we would recall from the last episode, what was her name? I don't know, the dumb girlfriend, utterly forgettable. She also took it on the chin. She didn't gripe too much after she was given the guilty verdict. Talia Hawthorne, I think her name was. The butterfly girl. Oh, there you are, Ronnie. Bonjour, sweetie. I don't have a voice for her either, sorry. I'm not good at girl voices. Oh, Desi, honey. Bonjour. Well, actually, I don't really know why I should be speaking French to you at a time like this. Leave it all to me, Ronnie. I swear I'll protect you. Total gold digger. You see, actually, the thief is, me. Can I tell you something, Nicky boy? I can guarantee that my Ronnie's innocent. If he's declared guilty, I'll be ever so cross with you. I could give her like the Delilah voice. Be ever so cross with you. I could try it, I mean. So why are you smiling when you say it? Well, if you'll excuse me, I've got some errands I need to take care of. Yeah, I don't know if I could do it. I'm counting on you, Nicky boy. Good luck. Alright. I have to remember what the voice is like, that's part of the problem. And it's been forever and a day since I've seen Hey Arnold. And that's another series I probably should catch up on this summer. To be honest, I really don't know whether Ron is the mask or not. I'm pretty sure I've seen every episode, I just need to go back and rewatch it. It's one of those type deals. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like there are so many shows, dude. So many shows, so many movies. There's only one thing I am sure of. He doesn't have the sacred urn right now. Okay, so where is it? Mr. Delight, it's time for you to enter the courtroom. For the time being, I guess I'll have to trust Desiree. She's saying he didn't do it. He's just delusional. Get him the innocent verdict. October 13th. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Juan Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Phoenix back to his normal self. It's nice enough to see him. And we don't have Payne again. This is a new prosecutor. What about the prosecution? Are you prepared to... What a stupid question. What did you say? Fine. Let me ask you then, Your Honor. Are you ready? Are you ready to pass judgment? And why is he wearing that visor? No, I'm not. We haven't even discussed the details of this case. What is this? I'll pass judgment after hearing arguments from both sides. As is usual. If you're not ready yourself, you shouldn't expect others to be. That's a rule to live by. Who are you? I'm Godot. The one that everyone was waiting for. You might recall. Legendary prosecutor. I've never lost a case. And I wear this visor because it makes me 10 times cooler and it makes people think I'm from the future. Future that never happened. He's the one that Detective Amio was talking about. It's supposed to make us look cooler and futuristic, but it actually just makes it harder to see. Yes, your reputation precedes you. What kind of cases have you dealt with so far? Ha! None. What did you say? I've never prosecuted a case before. Never? But you said you've never lost before. Exactly. I've never lost. I've never won before either. It's a wonderful way to be. Quite arrogant for a beginner, aren't you? Even the mightiest of redwoods begin their lives as mere saplings. Yes, what, a mask in a court of law? Ha! Don't you know anything? No matter, man. We all wear masks. Social, physical, personal. On Halloween. They conceal our identities, and they also conceal who we are really inside. Underneath the veneer. You can tell I'm having fun with this episode. Like I said, I've always liked the trial. If the game was just trials, I'd be all right. No matter the man, we all wear masks, either on our faces or over our hearts. This guy's the real deal, right, Nick? We got Maya back. Mia's not in the picture. Why does it seem like all prosecutors are the real deal? So we finally meet Mr. Phoenix Wright. Nick, is he a friend of yours? No, I don't have any friends that call me Trite. I don't have any friends that call me Nick either. People that can't seem to get my name right for the life of them. So who is this masked man? I've returned from the depths of hell to battle with you. Seems kind of intense. He's also got white hair and black facial hair and 2 earrings. And his theme is very unusual also. Well then, our prosecutor Gobo. It's not Gobo, it's Godot, Your Honor. In any case, please give your opening statement. Opening statement? Those things are not fit for even dogs to consume. I've only one thing to say before we start. To you, Mr. Trent. And I know his voice is kind of similar to the Ace Detective. I'm sorry about that. It's just, again, they look kind of similar, if I'm being real. What is it? Are you familiar with the saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link? I wonder how much you can withstand before you and your case break in two. What? Well then, let's hear from the first witness. It's like, just, let's get on with this, please. Shoot. My name is... My name is... What? My name is who? The Gumshoe. And of course, that was an Eminem reference for you folks at home. What? My name is Slim Shady. No one has asked for your name, witness. The judge just did, I thought. Oh no, he called the witness to the stand, so I mean... The important thing is what you know. That's all. Start talking. We're listening. Yes, sir. Where's Edgeworth when you need him? Alright, witness. First, let's hear about what you know about that stole the Da-da-da-da. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Detective Gochu at your service, sir. Master Mask crimes. Master Mask is a master thief that first started his crime spree 6 months ago. So confident that he sends his college card before he even commits a crime. This was his 5th heist, and as usual, he sent a card on to Lord the Tailor. The pattern is to always go after only the most precious art pieces. That's why we're sure it was Master Mask, sir. It's his MO to a T. Get it? The middle? Like, I don't know what you're saying anymore. So the actual identity of this Mask the Mask is Mr. Godot. What are you? He has telekinetic powers now too? Powers to move objects? We're in the middle of a trial here, Mr. Godot. This is no time for coffee. Darker than a moonless night, hotter and more bitter than hell itself. That is coffee. What? Only if you take it black. Which apparently he does. I'm sure you can grant me at least this much, Your Honor. Oh, please, proceed. He's a card already. He has his own theme and everything. Very well. It's only coffee after all. Even Payne didn't have his own theme. I'm sure he does. If you look it up online, I'm sure he does. It just doesn't play. Can't be letting him slide this early in the trial. The judge is always super soft. He's easily persuadable. He's easily manipulated. He doesn't make a good judge at all. Proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Well, Nick, what are you going to do? As long as they haven't brought up Mr. Delight's identity, all we can do is show that it wasn't Mask to Mask. It wasn't Mask to Mask who stole the urn. Sorry, I'm just realizing this controller also has a mic input. I'm wondering if I could use that. Maybe I'll try it after this episode. Yeah, because there's like a place you can put your microphone in this controller, the headset into the controller. It wasn't Masked the Mask who stole the urn. And again, we don't even know if Ron is Masked to Mask. So even what Phoenix is saying here isn't really valid. Like, you wouldn't need to prove that Masked to Mask didn't steal the urn. All you need to do is make the case that Ron is not Masked to Mask. That's the more important thing to do, is prove that he's not who he's claiming to be. Masked to Mask's crimes. Hold it! Have you been involved in the investigation from the beginning? Yep, nobody knows more about the thief than me, pal. It's true, I'm a Zbari, author of thieves. What? That does not make sense. An author? He's written books about thieves? I think he probably meant to say authority. Thing is, the fact that this guy can slip through even my fingers shows how good he is, pal. It's easy when those fingers happen to be butterfingers. So nobody knows more about the thief than you, huh? You got it, pal. Except maybe for the thief's mom, that is. Isn't there someone who knows even more about him than the police? Did he just say his mom? You don't mean Detective Zvari, do you? Who is this person, Zvari? He sounds German. His name is Luke Abney, sir. I guess I shouldn't have made up such a silly name for him, sir. We're just throwing out words here, sir. These are just names. They don't mean anything. They were just, you know, the ding-dong and the bang-bong-bong. We're just saying stuff. It doesn't matter. Zvari, Abney, Luke, Darth Vader, I'm your father. You know, sir, we don't know anymore. They're just names and words. What the heck? I guess he's not that famous after all. Anyway, it's true that he did manage to retrieve the last item from the thief that the thief stole. I see. Seems you're not the expert you claim. Looks like the thief is toying with me even now. Started his crime spree, Atme was able to recover something that was stolen. Hold it! Have you seen all these so-called calling cards? So I have one in my possession. Of course I have. Except, the person in charge of the treasure exhibit never brought their card to the police.
Why would they need to?
So I didn't see this one until after the crime occurred, sir. That's because Detective Atmay stopped Miss Andrews from talking to the police. From taking it to the police, sorry. Same thing. It was a calling card that Lord Lee Taylor received authentic. Well, all the cards have one common identifying feature. We're not releasing that information to the general public at this time. But you're absolutely certain that this card is real. I'm sure you can't say it out loud, but I bet he's talking about Master Mask's emblem. Why is that on a need-to-know basis? You're in court. You're in court, detective. Now's the time to testify. Do you not understand the role and responsibility of detectives? This was his fifth heist. As usual, he sent a card on to Lord Lee Taylor. Who? That's the name of the store, I believe. His fifth heist. And your fifth screw-up, huh? Objection, pal. I'm the one playing the Lord now. Get it? That ain't fair. Maybe you could say I screwed up 4 times. But this last time wasn't my fault. I didn't know about the calling card this time. You of all people shouldn't be chuckling about this, Detective Gumshoe. I just want everyone here in the courtroom to know something. You ever get a calling card from this guy, don't call some stupid private eye. Call your local police right away, got me? So I'm back on the force, you hear? That short stint I had with Phoenix Wright in his law office, that was just a side gig, alright? Being a detective has always been my true calling. Looks like he's really got it in for Detective Atmay. Alright, hold it again. Art pieces like what, for example? Well, his first target was the famous Tear of Ammonon. Was that some kind of especially salty teardrop? No, sir, it's a blue diamond. Single rare diamond. Next was the crown of Angora, you know, the thing you put on your head. After that was the left hand of Hades, and then the portrait of Megina, sir. Detective Atmay received the portrait of Megina and returned it to the museum. And the target of his fifth and last robbery was the sacred urn, right? He seems to be choosing items of historical significance and or cultural significance. But isn't it difficult for him to dispose of such famous art pieces? Down to the black market, sir. You assume you must have some underworld connections. Bingo. Somehow Mr. Delight doesn't look the type. Yeah, he's a little too sunny to be hanging out in the underworld. Even though it's not a literal underworld, it's just something that law enforcement have issues and difficulty tracking. There used to be something called the dark web. I don't know if it still exists. I never actually went on it, but the idea is that people could go there and like buy drugs and stuff. Stuff that would not be kosher for law enforcement to know. Like stuff you would not want law enforcement to know about. I assume it's still in effect in some way. They used to call it the Silk Road. They what was it called? Disestablished it? I think that is a word. They took it down. The Silk Road. And I don't know if something similar still exists. I would imagine so. That's why I'm sure it was Master Massacre. It fits his MO to a T. Hold it. Why are you stringing letters together? What do you mean when you say it fits his MO to a T? I was thinking of asking the same thing myself. I wish you would listen a little more closely, pal. First of all, there's this calling card. We're 100% certain it's authentic. But how do you know Ron's the one who left it, though? And there's the fact that he seemed to know all about the security system. Again, how do we know Ron is the one who did it? And finally, his target was an art piece. These are all part of the piece modus operandi. How do we know Ron is Master Mask? And how do we know... Okay, the calling cards. So we know Master Mask is the one who stole them all, but we still haven't made the connection between the man and the myth. And so since this robbery seems to fit all those conditions... That's right. It means that Master Mask is behind it. Nick, it definitely looks like it was Master Mask who stole the urn. There's no real evidence either way as to whether Ron Delight is Master Mask. Correct. But... Also, the urn has turned up not yet, let alone a connection to Mr. Delight himself. Also true. We still don't know where the urn is. Even though we know it was Master Mask that did it. Maybe for the time being, I should try to show it wasn't Master Mask that did it. Alright, let's see what we got in our old bag of evidence. Okay, so to the security at Lord Lee Taylor, I'll be coming to purloin the most priceless work of art on display in your Treasures of Crane exhibit. Taking care of the speckled urn, won't you? Yours truly, Master Mask. So it's like he left this before committing the crime. He says, I will be coming. Yeah, so this must have been left before. But I thought he left him at the scene of the crime. I don't know. Found in the KB security building at around 1 p.m. the night of the crime. 1 a.m. Sorry, 1 a.m. the night of the crime. So this is significant because, again, he was in the KB security building. He wasn't in the, what's it called? The art store. Whatever it's called. Lordly Taylor. He wasn't in the Lordly Taylor. Key card. Found in Ron's wallet. Opens the KB security CEO's office. Leaves a record when used. Blackmail letter. Is it enough to present the... Okay, yeah. So he's so confident he sends his calling card before he commits the crime. I wonder if I can just present the wallet. Do I present the urn? His pattern is to only go after the most precious art pieces. Maybe I should present this. I'll try it, and if I get penalized, I'll just check the guide. Yeah, I mean, it's priceless. I mean... again, if I get penalized, I'm just going to be like, you know, I'm done. Can I ask you a little something, Detective Gumshoe? This here little question is making me nervous. You said that he always goes after the most okay, good. Okay, I'm glad I'm at least in the ballpark this time and not like, it's the wallet! Showing he was in the security offices when he could have been doing the crime at Lordly Taylor. Therefore, he couldn't have been there. It's an alibi, see? He couldn't have done it because he was in the office. Like, I don't know. He said that he always goes after the most precious art pieces, right? That's right, Belle. But there's one problem. That's not what he did in this case. He stole absolute junk. Did you know that, detective? And again, how do we know it was wrong? Supposedly priceless urn doesn't exactly rise to the level of precious art. What do you mean? Nick, how can you say such a terrible thing? No, I meant from a financial point of view. I mean, it wouldn't fetch a good price. Well, Prosecutor Go, what is the value of that urn? The appraisers I spoke to said they couldn't attach a price to it. And I mean that in the worst sense. So in other words, it was not the kind of item that Master Mask would normally go after. So... yeah, it could be that this was all about nothing. The urn was missing, and then we blame Ron, and Ron isn't Master Mask. Ron, I think the easiest way to confirm this IRL would be to ask Ron simply if he knows the location of the urn. Because if he is Master Mask, technically only he would know. He would have to have some knowledge or memory of that if he was the one who perpetrated the crime. And if he doesn't know, that casts doubt on the theory that he is Master Mask number 1 and or that he actually stole the vase number 2. Yes, it's possible, of course, that... yes, it's possible that he's gonna lie about it, but it doesn't seem like Ron's the kind of guy who would lie about something like that. And if he would intentionally lie about it, it's like, what would be the point? To earn himself jail time? Like, I don't know why anyone would do that. If I understand you correctly, Mr. Wright, you're saying that the death of the sacred urn was not the work of Master Mask. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if I would say that. Because it's possible that, again, the Mask stole it without knowing what the worth of value of the item was in question. It's like the art thief who steals a forgery. Like, you know, it's possible that they thought it was worth a lot of money and then they stole it and then it turns out it's worth nothing. That does happen. Not very often. It only happens to people who steal art, but, or, you know, steal certain things. All I did was point out the contradiction. The argument made itself, but, well, first of all, we need to get this issue cleared up. Was this last robbery the work of Mask to Mask or not? Yes, for the last time. Yes, it is possible. What do you have to say about this, Mr. Godot? As he sips his coffee. This coffee here, it's my own special blend. Call it Godot number 107. I'm trying to decide whether to cut down on the acidity or the bitterness. That's the only thing I've got on my mind right now. Mr. Wright. The judge was the one asking the question. Like, are you addressing Phoenix? What? He's like, you heard me, Mr. Wright. I'm not sure I agree with your methods. He's like, but the judge was the one asking the question. You're really a man, you should clean up your own mess. What? Sorry, but I don't get what you mean. You're saying it wasn't Mask to Mask that stole the urn. Then who was it? It must be someone imitating Mask to Mask's methods, I think. Again, not necessarily, it could have been the real Mask to Mask, who just didn't understand what the value was until it was appraised. The pawn shops do this all the time. They bring in appraisers and they determine what the value of the item is, because sometimes it's so ambiguous what something is really worth that they really need an expert's opinion for them to make a confident offer, because otherwise it's totally up in the air. It's like, who's to say what anything is worth? Like, I think there's a general consensus with some items, like a Rolls Royce. I think most people agree a Rolls Royce is worth thousands of dollars, but an artifact from like 200 years ago, most people are probably not going to know. Like an original gramophone, people will say it's of historical significance, but the actual monetary value of that item today is like questionable. A very old doll, for example. An old doll, for example, could potentially be worth, who knows, thousands of dollars. Maybe it's an antique. Or maybe it's not worth all that much. Like it's very hard to assign a monetary value to some things. Fake the mask. Fake the mask. That sounds so ridiculous, but I like it. Now, before I decide on my coffee, I believe some proof is in order, Mr. Wright. Proof that the person who appeared at Lordly Taylor that night was actually a fake. Though I don't approve of Mr. Godot's behavior, his point is valid. Mr. Wright, we're waiting. Looks like I'm going to have to prove it. I need proof that the person at Lordly Taylor... Oh, like, what? What do I need to prove again? I need proof that the person at Lordly Taylor that night was, in fact, fake Damask. Okay. So... Again, I don't follow the game's reasoning at all. We only need to prove or make the case that Ron is not who he says he is. He's not Mask to Mask. He is someone else. Mask to Mask is the one who stole the vase thinking it was worth something. But the game is saying we need proof that the person at Lordly Taylor was a fake Damask. Again, we wouldn't need to prove that, but okay. Prove that it was a fake person, okay. Prove that it was a fake Damask. I assume it's the wallet. I keep gravitating toward that wallet. Perhaps I could also present the blackmail letter. Yardley Taylor. Bring us the money by 1 o'clock. The Red Diamond. I don't know what that's about. It's a fake Damask. Maybe this. If we in any way know that this is not Damask. But again, how do you know from this? I don't know how you would know from that. It's not like Ron has any physical characteristics that would differentiate him from the mask in costume. I believe it is the blackmail letter. Let me just double check this. I don't want to get penalized. Okay. Alright, hold on a sec. I'm a little bit hungry, but I can hold out. I believe it is either the wallet or the... It is the photo, after all. It's not... Again, if you present the wallet or the letter, you are going to get penalized. Kind of baloney, but okay. Alright, so we need to look carefully at this photograph. And this one. There's a smiley face. This is a bit ridiculous. Can I be real? No, the smiley face was left out of the costume. Just look, and you guys can see how I'm spending most of my days, most of my mornings. Lounging in this recliner. Waiting for the world to pass by. Actually, it's a nice way to start the day. My hardest decisions are what I'll eat for dinner. And yeah, I'm still debating on whether or not I'll actually go somewhere this summer. I mean, travel is still technically on the table with the entire month of July being open. I'm just not sure how I feel about the flight fees, or, you know, the plane ticket. Couple options. I've been thinking about like a grand vacation in Asia again, going to Japan for 2 weeks, spending a couple weeks in China, spend like a week in Thailand, and then fly back. And I also think a little bit, think like I've also like wanted to go to like Machu Picchu, fly into, it's not Cancun, it's Cusco. Am I saying it right? I don't know, maybe I'm forgetting, sorry. Go to Peru, basically, to see Machu Picchu. I've also wanted to go to see Jordan, the Middle East, go to like Jerusalem, Egypt. So that's something I want to do one of these summers. I'm not sure if it'll be this summer. I doubt it. But I want to like start crossing off those like wonders of the world, like the Great Wall of China, Machu Picchu, The pyramids. Yeah. Looks like a photo taken by a security camera. If you look closely, you'll notice something peculiar about it. Ha! Well then, why don't you go ahead and show us what it is? Go on, use this pointer to show us what is peculiar. This. Take that! It's right here, of course. You mean mask to mask? I have here a piece of reference I would like the court to look at. Isn't that the publicity photo I bought this morning? Again, is this guy a criminal who just keeps stealing artworks and priceless artifacts? Or is he just an actor? No, that's probably the weirdest thing about this episode. Because first off, who wears costumes like this? The problem I have with the security camera photo is the brooch on Mask to Mask's chest. A breach. Here. Bailiff, get my steed. We need to retreat at once. The brooch, Your Honor, is a sort of clasp for holding one's cape on. A clasp, I see now. I think it's called Cusco, place I would go to. But the mask to mask in the security photo. But yeah, again, it's the plane ticket price and the timing. There are so many questions. So few answers. Plus, I can also like go on road trips and travel within the states. Like I could actually road trip to Mexico. I was thinking about that. I could road trip to Canada as well. I could travel around here in Colorado. Like there's so many possibilities for places to go and things to do and see. Like sometimes you just want to be like, you know what? I'm just going to stay home. Save a buck. Because, yeah, pretty much staying here is the main way for me to save money, too. The minute I leave the house, like, almost guaranteed, the minute I leave the house, I'm going to have to spend money. I'm spending it on gas, airfare, accommodations, what else? I mean, those are the main expenses, right? Food. But the mask in the security camera photo. He has no brooch. That brooch is the same as the emblem on the mask's calling card and serves as his symbol. But the thief that broke into Lordly Taylor wasn't wearing a brooch. In other words, this mask to mask is a fake. I've been fooled again! Order. It's true. Undeniably true. Detective Gumshoe, how could you have overlooked us? I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how I... Hey now, don't dream it's over. If you're gonna have a pity party, invite me too. Dude, so many song references. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Cry until the candles burn down this place. I'll cry until my pity party's in flames. Speaking of parties, my birthday's coming up, July 2nd, guys. If you wanted to send me a little something special on Venmo, it's the Stormer Show. You're gonna have a pity party, invite me too. That was a Melanie Martinez reference. And yeah, I can't remember what the other reference was. Sorry about that. I'll try to identify the reference as soon as I make it. I mean, if you Google the lyrics, you'll probably find the songs. Mr. Godot, you deserve some blame for this too. How could you have overlooked such a large brooch? Ha! The brooch you're talking about. Do you mean this? You have it? That's Master Mask's brooch. Are you Master Mask? Where'd you find it? Well, I've always had a good nose for evidence. I got it at the crime scene. What? It was hidden in the shadow of a big female Buddha statue. Okay. You must mean the Amy Faye statue. Why didn't you tell me about that, sir? I always put evidence away in my pocket. That way it doesn't fall into the hands of the defense. I need all the tools I can get to win the case. After all, it's the safest place for crucial evidence. What? I believe no, that's in police custody. Kiddo, let's not be silly. Hoarding evidence to ourselves now. Sure, this guy's one cool customer. It's a little early to be shaken up, isn't it, little lady? That friend of yours left pretty little hickeys on there, too. Hickeys? Figuratively speaking, of course. I'm referring to Rhonda Light's fingerprints. What? The defendant's fingerprints are on the brooch. What? Order in the court. Mr. Godot, let's see that brooch. Right here. I'm going to attach my metallic girlfriend here. Take good care of her. This like dialogue just gets more and more bizarre as the episode goes on, doesn't it? It appears to have been torn off some clothing. There's a little bit of cloth left on the back. Obviously, there must have been a big struggle that night at the crime scene. Uh-oh. Phoenix, we have a problem. Mask's brooch added to the court record, found in the shadow of an angry face statue. Looks like it was torn off from some clothing. So the question is, why wasn't it in the photograph then? The photo presumably was taken as soon as he entered, right? So how did he have time to take it off? You mess with Godot, and you'll be left to wait. And you get burned. Sure, he's been playing with me like a violin. Well, Judge, I'm about ready to call my next witness. I've just about had enough time to finish my cup of coffee. Oh, you done with me? But I haven't proved anything yet. Yeah, no kidding. I've just been going in circles. You've proven your own incompetence. That's good enough. That doesn't sound good at all. What am I supposed to do? Collect evidence? Present facts to me? What do you expect from me? I'm a detective, for goodness sakes. Bailiff, bring the next witness into the courtroom. Finally, time for the ace detective to make his appearance, huh? Oh gosh. The battle of the hard voices to make. 1 second is one drip of the coffee pot. Let's hurry it up. I haven't got all day to drink my coffee. I'll be up all night. Silence. Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What's clear? Barry. The truth has once again been elegantly revealed to me. All becomes clear and transparent once the detective gives it his eye. What we have here is a judge and a prosecutor. Puppy maniac at that. Am I correct? Well, yes, that's right. Your powers of observation know no limits. Not bad at all. I've only got a coffee cup in my hand. I've been waving it around all day, but nice, very good observation. You're the first person that's ever been able to penetrate my secret veil. This mask conceals all, even the fact that I'm holding a coffee cup. Well, sir prosecutor, let me introduce myself. My name is Luke Atman, ace detective and rising star illuminating the heavens. Boy, these two make a perfect pair. I mean, yeah, they look pretty similar, actually. Their facial expressions, I don't know what it is. They'd either be best friends or they'd tear each other's heads off. Like a couple of fighting chickens. Or praying mantises, or whatever kind of reference you would prefer. Heard that on the night of the crime, we were all on security detail. So why was it that no one saw what happened? You've heard correctly. My especially made monocle is worth more than 100 Detective Gumshoes. Detective Gumshoe was worth anything, that is. Why was this guy all by himself anyway? Are you Master Mask? There must be some reason, I'm sure of it. Well then, tell us what this special monocle of yours witnessed. Here we go, look at me. It's approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed. That's when my nemesis, the infamous Master Mask, dancingly descended upon me in a dastardly design. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, he was gone. hit you over the head with a sword. All because you were looking at your precious little security camera, weren't you? Or so you would like us to think. 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police. Oh, so you were the one who called? Okay. So you didn't get a clear look at the criminal. My specially made monocle never misses a thing. However, that is limited to things that fall within my own visual range. Only things I can see are actually seen. It's how it works. I don't really get it. Of course, that's only natural. That's generally how eyes work, yes. I fail to see why the witness seemed so proud of his performance that evening. Well, sir, old-timer, let me explain. We're not speaking of an ordinary thief, but of the king of thieves, the great Master Mask, my arch-enemy. Yes, that's what my instincts and my years of experience tell me. Very well. Proceed with the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Try not to, add to the absurdity of this trial. What I witnessed. You have to do with a magnifying glass eyeglass, and they do with the samurai future samurai advisor who continuously sips coffee. I mean, even that's not that weird, but the fact that he's wearing the visor and has contrasting hair colors, just like Flock of Seagulls boy here, it's like. Hold it. So that would be 1 o'clock in the morning of the 12th, correct? That's an impressive deduction, Sir Wire. That's what it said on this tape, didn't it? You were on security detail that night. What exactly and where exactly were you at that time? A penetrating question. I was in the basement of the warehouse near the computer. So how did he hit you then? How did he open the door without you noticing? Or did he just reach in and bonk you over the head? And again, how did he do that without you noticing? Near the computer, huh? So then you weren't trying to remain hidden, I take it. Up to this point, I tried to remain concealed while waiting for the thief. Yeah, he said the same thing yesterday too, so how did he know you were there? Gumshoe also said that they never spotted the thief at the crime scenes before. Precisely. That's precisely why I chose not to hide last night. I knew that by not concealing myself, I would not be putting pressure on the thief. I would be putting pressure on the thief. Sorry. Looks like the thief was only applying pressure on your pigeony head, that is. In any case. And why is his nose so big? It's coming from a guy who was accused by some of the kindergartners that I had before that I had a huge nose. And I would always tell those kids, I'm like, yeah, well, you know what? If you're lucky, you might have a big nose someday too. I would always respond with that. And I've never thought of my nose as being that big. And it definitely is not this big. Okay, this is when the episode's starting to get tedious for me, guys. It's just like constant dialogue, constant line. Sorry, itchy nose. Dancingly descended from where exactly? Well, from the entrance, I suppose. Where else? So in actuality, he neither danced nor descended. Someone please save me. So how is it that you didn't notice the thief? My eyes were looking for the thief's shadow while my ears listened for his footfalls. What? But even so, the dastardly criminal managed to sneak on me. It can only be due to his subtly camouflaged cape and soft-soled shoes. Did I do that or did he? Okay. I was like, whoops. I hereby W Ace Nuts. This is began to turn, a coward struck a fierce blow upon the noble head. You didn't see the criminal's face when that happened. Well, that's the difficult part. How should I put it? I saw his mask, that's all I can recall. And you made no attempt to defend yourself. That's not very solid as far as testimony goes. However, fortunately I had my third monocle, the security camera ready. It captured his image perfectly. It should be sufficient, I believe. Well, as long as this photo is authentic, I don't see a problem here. Well, Mr. Godot, do you have a problem with photo? Good. Then let's continue with the testimony. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I woke, he was gone. Hold it! Attacked and knocked you unconscious. You weren't able to do a thing. Not even raise your hand or sound an alarm. Like, absolutely nothing you were able to do. Just stood there helplessly. That's certainly some very impressive detective work. Well, sir lawyer, have you ever been suddenly struck on the head? Pretty sure he has. Well, actually, yes, by a fire extinguisher. And what happened? I was knocked out. I believe that was an Ace Attorney, I believe. If I remember correctly. Sorry, memory does not serve. But I'm pretty sure it has happened. And you lost your memory, too. It happened a long time ago, okay? It was not Injustice for All, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was an Ace Attorney. You see, you have no right to look down on me then, do you? The only reason I didn't lose my memory is because I had more brains to begin with. You may have brains, but the wiring of to the self-reflection part seems to be separate. In any case, that's how it was knocked senseless. And then, 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police. Hold it! About this 30 minutes. My silver cord was loosened and my soul fled to the golden halls of Elysium. As usual, I have no idea what this guy's saying. I think he's saying that he was out cold. That's what happened during these 30 minutes. I'll be spending a lot of time there after I pass away. Elysium. Or the Great Void, whatever you want to call it. No one can say, Your Honor. That span of time was truly banished into the ether. What is he going on about? There's something suspicious about Detective Avenue. How could he not have noticed when the thief came in? Also, he says he was knocked unconscious before he could fight back. That can't be right. It contradicts the evidence. Which piece? The real question is, why would he tell such an obvious lie? So he says he wasn't able to fall back. Right? It went off at 1 a.m. This says it was 2 minutes before. Right? Maybe the difference here is not significant, though. Because it says it went off about 1 a.m. And yeah, 12:58 is about 1 a.m. That's true. I'm getting a little tired of this reading. Damascus brooch. Down in the shadow, it looks like it was torn off something. So maybe I could use this brooch. Because it was torn off. Let me try to object with this. Let me just confirm it real quick. Yeah, exactly. The brooch. Right. I'm getting better at this game, slowly. Slowly and surely. I'm getting better. Mr. Atman, you take a look at this with that special monocle of yours. Aha! This belongs to the criminal mastermind, my arch nemesis, Mask to Mask. Are you sure you're not Mask to Mask? Is, in point of fact, Mask to Mask's brooch. It was found on the floor of the basement warehouse. I wonder how that happened. Did he tear it off himself? Elementary, my dear lawyer. Obviously, it wasn't glued on well enough. It was ripped off. It clearly shows signs of having been ripped off a piece of clothing. Off? Aha. You can only deduce that the thief struggled with someone that night. Either he ripped it off himself or someone else did. I mean, technically it's possible for someone else to, but that's uncommon. It's not common someone rips something off their clothing. Unless they're trying to dispose of it, of course. Or know or conceal their identity. That's something that can happen. Oh, that's the only thing I can think of. There's only one person that was in a position to have a struggle with the thief. There's only one person that was in a position to have a struggle with the thief. The only person that was on security duty that night. You, Detective Atman. So you did struggle with him, or maybe you tore it off yourself. Must have fought the thief that night. So why did you lie in your testimony to the court? Witness, giving false testimony is a serious crime. No. Wait just a moment. Sir, old timer. Don't talk to me like I'm living in a nursing home. I'm about to throw you in jail for falsification of your testimony. I just remembered, Your Honor. I was just confused because I've been dealing with so many cases lately. Well, he was also hit over the head, supposedly, so... I mean, it's possible you would have short-term memory loss after that. I'm not exactly sure how hard the hit has to be, but I'm pretty sure you could lose memory from that long. The true measure of a man is the amount of work he does. That's what I always say. I think you can only handle one case at a time, isn't that right? You talk too much. That's true. Witness. So you're now saying that you and the thief fought. Hold on. That's quite enough, Your Honor. Excuse me? Who do you think you are? Save the big questions for the testimony. That's one of my rules. Indeed. I understand. Advocate may agree completely. Fight with the thief. Isn't that what he's been doing this whole time? Testifying? Like, so... I don't know. It's true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, Luke Atman cannot be so easily discombobulated. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. I mean, someone could have totally staged this whole thing by themselves. The true gentleman fights only with his own fists, but they were not enough. His first blow struck true. Bam! That's all she wrote. I feel like people do this often. Like, they stage things all the time. So in the end, you did catch a glimpse of Mask. As I wrote to my mother yesterday, and as Billy Idol once saying, it's easy to deceive. She didn't respond. It's typical. So in the end, did you catch a glimpse of Mask? Correct. It was during his third crime that he struck me from behind. It seems that my memories become a tad jumbled, so to speak. Understandably so, you were hit in the head. That's certainly understandable. I myself always get confused about which testimony goes from which case. With which case. That can't be good. Fight with the thief. You looked away, hold it. Why did you look away? In addition to the camera, I had prepared a variety of other sensors as well. The alarm on one of those had gone off, so I had to check the data. That's why I went to the computer. Elegant, of course. So you were momentarily vulnerable when you were working on your computer. What should I do? Should I ask some more questions? Ask, maybe about the computer? Yeah, Phoenix also lost his memory when he was hit over the head with the fire extinguisher. So yeah, memory loss is possible from trauma. Like certain traumas. And I would say not just physical, by the way. It's also possible for someone to have emotional trauma as well that causes memory loss. I'm not very knowledgeable about this. Because I'm not very studied in this area, but I believe it's possible for someone to have memory loss both from physical trauma and from emotional trauma. Which is part of the reason why studies have been done about memory and the authenticity and authentic nature of memories, because sometimes people's memories can change over time too. They can remember things differently than they were. I don't know if this even matters. So that computer belonged to Lord Lee Taylor as well. Correct. Well, except for the program that manages the data. Now, especially designed by me, look at me. In that case, he could have easily manipulated the data. Hee. What's wrong, Sir Lawyer? So, did he though? Is he actually mask to mask? What does that mean, discombobulated? Young people these days, they really irritate me. They allow perfectly good old words to die until everyone forgets what they mean. Sorry, but what exactly does it mean anyway? Something or someone is discombobulated, it means they're like confused in a way. No, I forgot. What was I saying? Yeah. He's better than old people who forget what they were saying 5 seconds ago. Well, it looks like we've cleared that up. You can go on with your testimony. Sorry, sometimes you go too slow, so I'm trying to just get through. What do you mean by weapon from the side? Naturally, the thief had no idea that Luke Atman was hiding in the area. He grabbed the sword from the statue that was standing by the door to the warehouse, all without my knowing, or noticing, even with cameras. Sword? You mean the sword was all twisted like a tree branch? Correct. Fortunately for me, the blade was not sharp. Okay, so he is talking about Shishito. So the thief armed himself with his sword. And what about yourself, witness? Why would you fight with only your fists? You have that much faith in your own fighting abilities, but of course, in college I was the second in charge of the boxing club. Sorry if I failed to find the appropriate impressive. However, my opponent in the ring this time was my arch nemesis, Mask to Mask. This guy's a real piece of work. His first blow struck true, grand, that's all she wrote. Well, can you tell us more about what happened? My opponent was both powerful and vicious. You might say he was powericious. What? I assumed the anime fighting stance, but a sudden flash of light blinded me. That, of course, was checkmate. My opponent had bested me. What do I do now? Should I ask more about it? I believe I asked him about the style. What is this anime fighting style? It's a trade secret, I can't say anymore. But I suppose I can tell you if I absolutely must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall. That way no one can get behind you. That's it? That's the anime fighting style? Well, Miss Wright, what about that testimony? It was very important. Of course it's important. We've learned a detective's secret technique after all. Yes, indeed. I'll remember to use it if I ever take a walk alone late at night. That is not a good style, too. Because when you're cornered, it's harder for you to escape. It's also harder for you to maneuver as well. Because against the wall, I mean, it's easier for an attacker to pin you, for example. I mean, if you watch professional fights, against the rope or against the cage is exactly where the fighters don't want to be. Because it's harder to defend yourself when you're up against something. Even the euphemism, like, someone's on the ropes or put them on the ropes, it means to, like, put someone on the defensive. Like, that generally means that, like, you're in a losing position. Because, again, you can't maneuver as well against the ropes or against the side of the cage. Harder to defend. Why the heck is he eyeballing me like that? It screwed me up. Now then, witness. We'll go ahead and add that secret information to your official testimony. I put my back to the wall to fight, but the thief's blow landed upon my third eye. This is not making sense. Where is the third eye you're talking about? Right between my right and left eyebrows. Quite invisible to the unenlightened. You may call it the forehead if you like. Why didn't you just say that in the first place? Sir Lawyer, it looks like this creases in your forehead are getting deeper. So Mr. Atman got hit on the forehead then. That's what he says. I've got a funny feeling about that. Actually, so do I. What do you think, Nick? There's absolutely one thing that I'm absolutely sure of. Now we're talking too much. I'm getting tired of talking. He's hiding something. I think I'm starting to figure out what really happened that night. About the true nature of this detective. I'm pretty sure this twist ending is that he's really mask to mask. I think that's the real case. Objection! Detective Atmay, your testimony is crumbling like a house of cards. What fun is this, sir lawyer? It's truly a pleasure to cross swords with you. And now, once again, you've thrown down the gauntlet at my armored feet. I believe this is what you said yesterday. No, the coward must have wormed his way through somewhere besides the door. Then my arch nemesis struck me on the head from behind with this gruesome item here. From behind, huh? Just now you testified that he struck you on the forehead. I hardly think you could forget where you were hit on the head. Seems I've made another mistake. Detective Atmay, that's not the only strange part of your testimony. What do you mean by that? For example, the very fact that you hid the calling card from the police itself is strange. It's almost as if you were afraid they were going to help with security. Geniuses such as myself has always been misunderstood. How sad. That's wrong. Objection! Okay, his voice is deeper. Dares human to forgive his divine. Humans aren't machines, they have souls, feelings. They live, they die, they love, they hate. And yes, they even make mistakes. Objection! Hey, hold on. It's not as pretty as that. Really, what is it like that? Always chase a riddle down to the end. That's one of my rules. Because I'm Godot. People wait for me. I don't wait for them. This is it. This is my chance to turn things around. I'll see. Hopefully this is wrapping up things because I'm getting tired of talking. That's right. What exactly is it you're asserting? Very well. Your Honor. Defense asserts that Mr. Atmay is no detective. This Mr. Atmay is a fake. He is mask to mask. The answer is simple. It's all clear to me now. Detective Luke Atmay's true identity is actually mask to mask. Yarg. 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 Order in court. Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this? There are too many unnatural parts to Mr. Atmay's story. He says he was hiding at the crime scenes, which is why no one ever saw him there. And then, in his last case, he manages to outperform Detective Gumshoe and the entire police force to miraculously retrieve the stolen treasure. That's because I analyzed the crime scene data and made an exquisitely elegant deduction. I picked up clues that the police overlooked in order to arrive at out. Oh please, the explanation is far simpler than that, Detective Atmay. Or should I say, Padme, from Star Wars. The truth is that you are in fact mask to mask. And Mr. Wright, this photo clearly shows mask to mask. Security camera belongs to Lord B. Taylor department store. You shouldn't have been able to manipulate it. All he has to do is put on a costume. He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense of providing security. And he simply dressed up as the thief and stole the urn. So the ace detective is actually an ace thief. Is this true, witness? Are you actually the thief? Are you running around stealing stuff? You better tell the truth. Ah. Matt Simmo is pure genius, and so am I. Look at me, ace detective. Sorry, I did not catch that. It flew by so fast. You're very clever to come to such a conclusion. I'm impressed, sir. What? Witness, you are admitting it? Nick, now's your chance. Yeah, it's time to put the last nail in the guy's coffin. Detective Atmay, when you assume the thief's identity... Objection. What? He threw his coffee? Good old Blend 102, my personal favorite. Even Phoenix is like, what? Mr. Godot, we generally don't approve of whipping people in here, throwing things at any of the people in here. We don't approve of people eating evidence. I don't understand why people are not acting like this is a courtroom, place of law. I don't understand that. No one's acting like this is a court. It's crazy. This detective is actually an HD. I smell a best-selling novel. There's only one problem. It simply isn't true. But Mr. Godot, Mr. Wright has made some very strong points tonight. Although my opponent has woven a compelling narrative out of whole cloth, but it is, in fact, nothing more than a patchwork of Mr. Wright. This detective release the thief and show us the proof of your claim. Show us the proof of your claim. It better be as hot and as perfect as the coffee dripping down your face. That can actually cause burns, too. Like, I'm pretty sure in some places that's like full-on assault. Like, throwing your hot coffee on somebody. Yeah, that can get you actual jail time, I'm pretty sure. And yes, it can cause burns. Actually, as a matter of fact, that's the reason why McDonald's coffee has that caution hot label on it now for all the coffee they sell, because a customer got burned accidentally trying to drink their coffee, and they actually sued McDonald's. I kid you not. Like, they burned themselves, and they were able to sue McDonald's because of how silly our world is. And that's actually truth. Like, that's not fiction. That's actually true. Crazy. And now McDonald's has to sell coffee cups with that little disclaimer to prevent, oh, poor boo-boo customer from burning himself because he doesn't know how to drink coffee correctly. Give me a break. People are also extremely greedy as well. Never underestimate the power of human greed, because that is always an explanation for people's choices and behavior, especially when it comes to lawsuits. If you're ever like, why are they suing them? Almost always money has something to do with it. Well, as if money makes everything better. He touched me 30 years ago. I don't know how I'm ever going to live with myself. I need $5 million. Again, give me a break. Well, Mr. Wright, don't just tell me. Score would like to see decisive proofs you have quickly. Huh? Oh, yes, of course. What's the big rush? Are you alright, Nate? I mean, it looks pretty rattled right now. I'd like to finish this now if I can, but can I really do it? Decisive evidence that proves Mr. Megami is, in fact, mask to mask is right here, or has yet to be found. I want to say it's right here. It has yet to be found. I've got nothing. Oh, just what I thought. I mean, it's just circumstantial evidence only. I mean, it's the most reasonable explanation. That certainly has something going for it. Man has to hold his head up high no matter how bad things get, after all. I see. I thought perhaps you had some evidence to back up your assertion. This is no good. I've got to stay on the attack. I'll never get another chance to prove that this guy's a thief. Don't give up, Nick. Think harder and try again. No good. I'm just not ready yet. But are you going to just give up and let us lose like this? Lose this. Yeah, sorry, I always get the words mixed up trying to get through the lines. There are just so many freaking lines. So you come to your senses, have you, sir lawyer? I can't think of a counterattack. Seems the cloud's suspicions Rodriguez witness has lifted. Sure, go. Again, we haven't made the case that he's not mask to mask. We've only made the case that he is mask to mask. We just don't have proof yet of that claim. So that's significant. Because again, there could be evidence that has not yet come to light. Oh. That doesn't really matter right now, does it? Mr. Light, what are you doing here? Naked boy. The thing you've been looking for. I think I found it. I have to remember what Lila's voice was like. I'm ever so grateful. Yeah, I don't even think I could do it. Even though I can remember it. You mean that bag? No, not the bag. What's in the bag? Well, she put together the urn. That's the sacred urn, Nick. The urn. Where'd you get that? And how? Order. You, madame. That urn. Where did you find it? You'll never believe it. It was in the office of my Mr. Fancy Pants Ace Detective, Blue Atman. And how did you get access to that? And how did we miss it when we were physically in his office? Unless he was hiding it, which is definitely possible. Oh, Desi, you're the best. Sacred urn update in the correct record. Found in the office of Blue Atman. He has pink splotches all over it. So, again, how did she gain access to that office? Well, how do you explain that one, Mr. Atman? Even you're going to have a hard time weaseling out of this one. Objection. Again, our prosecutor, who really thinks it's more necessary to contradict us than try to make a solid case here. Oh, pathetic. All I do is argue. I don't try to prove anything. I just argue all day. Mr. Godota, do you have something you wish to say? Yes, Your Honor. Simply amazes me how quickly times change. Us contrarians find it hard to get by. We can't argue as much anymore. I think, like, there is... I don't think I know there's a word for it in courtrooms. Like, I don't think they call it... I mean, some judges may hold you in contempt of court for doing that, but I think there is actually a certain word for it when lawyers make, like, paltry arguments. They're just arguing for the sake of argument. Like, I think there is an actual word for that, even though I can't remember it right now. Yes, Your Honor, it simply amazes me how quickly times change. In the old days, a man was to be taken at his word. Really sad. No. Has that ever been the case in human history? People lie. One of the few things I actually remember from my reading of the book Sapiens was that one of the first inventions of the modern version of humans, Homo sapiens sapiens, was the ability to storytell. Like, that's basically what separated Homo sapiens from Neanderthals, was the ability to storytell and to make up stuff, to tell stories. And yes, to lie. People have had that ability basically from the dawn of our current evolutionary stage. So yeah, people have been lying for years. Even in the old days, people were lying. As long as there is an advantage to be gained, people will lie. You're still denying that Mr. Atman was involved? Before casting aspersions at Detective Atman, consider the young lady here. Your name is Desiree. Desiree Delight, is that correct? How does he know that? Yes, what about it? What about it? How charming. The lengths that a woman is willing to go to save her husband is truly inspiring. Oh, is he saying it was she placed it there, planted it there? What are you insinuating? As the wife of the criminal, you could have discovered that stolen urn anywhere. Including the office of the good detective here. Again, I would be more so wondering how she got access to that office. I think it's more reasonable that she got it from her husband. And maybe she's just saying that she got it in the office to cover for her husband. So you found the urn. What does that prove? It certainly doesn't prove where the urn was before you found it. Again, she could be lying if she is telling the truth and she found it in the dude's office. We know where it was before it was found. We know that's the case if she's telling the truth, okay? If she's telling a lie, then... Yeah. Again, how'd she get into the office? I just brought it here from the detective's office, she says. Please, madame. The town is already filled to the brim with lies. Any more could only compound the tragedy we've been witnessing. You're wrong. I'd never do such a thing. I'm only after the money. Like a lot of people, I'm only after the money. This flight. Please, Nicky boy. You gotta help me talk some sense into these people. There must be some way. I've gotta prove that Urn is actually in the Anime Detective Agency. Testify about what I saw, show fingerprints on the urn. Show the fingerprints. Again, I have no clue where the game is heading. I can prove where it was by the fingerprints. Oh, come now. Now you're really making me laugh, sir lawyer. Fingerprints indeed. May I go on? Good. Now it would be perfectly understandable if my fingerprints were on the urn. Except you're wearing gloves. So, again, I'm not sure where Phoenix is going with this. After all, it was I who was guarding the urn in the first place. In any case, I'm always in the habit of wearing gloves, as you can see. No, you don't say! Sorry. So unfortunately, my fingerprints wouldn't be evidence of anything. True. So glad someone is talking sense. What about it, Miss Wright? This witness's fingerprints wouldn't mean nothing anyway. Nick, what are you going to do now? Gone too far to turn back. Abney must have brought the urn back to his office yesterday. And there I'm sure someone must have left their fingerprints out. All you would find is Desiree's fingerprint. Is it going to be Ron? Is it going to be Ron Delight? And why would you have to suppose this theory? I have a theory about whose fingerprints are on the urn. Like, dude, just test it for fingerprints. Are you kidding me? So what's all this fuss about fingerprints anyway? Stratman, do you recall the events of yesterday? In it, come on, open it up. Hey, wait a minute, we can't just open his private property. You'd be such a fuddy-duddy. This is an important investigation. Well, what's in there? Taking it out now, whatever it is, it feels kind of hard and smooth. Well, hello there. Oh. I mean, they were really taking their time with opening that. I'm surprised they didn't tell there was a vase in there. Vases are kind of hard to hide. It's true that I didn't get a chance to look at the bag at that time, but I did touch what was inside, and it felt a lot like a vase. Alright, Phoenix. Even if you did touch the bag, your fingerprints wouldn't be on the vase, now would it? You would have had to take the vase out of the bag, which wasn't in the game cutscene. Sometimes, dude, this game is like, I don't think so, dude. Good try, but no. You touched it? You touched the bag? How dare you touch my things without me knowing, even though my office was completely open. I remember it very well. It was smooth and hard. Well, that was just my bowling ball. Your Honor, I'd like the court to examine the fingerprints on the urn. My fingerprints are on there, then it proves that the urn was in Detective Abney's office, even if it was in a bag. And my fingerprints wouldn't have been on it in the first place. Objection! That's not how fingerprints work, Phoenix. Even if the fingerprints are on there, it still doesn't prove when they were put there, does it? I mean, there's a lot of things that doesn't prove. Phoenix's fingerprints wouldn't be on there in the first place. How did it get glued back together? Again, the only set of fingerprints that should be on that are Desiree's fingerprints. That's it. That's all. Of course it does. What did you say? It's not what I say, but what Adrian Andrews, the person in charge of the exhibition, said. I polished it until it's about glowing. I thought maybe I could make it look more valuable. If she polished it that much, she must have removed any and all fingerprints on it. Again, you didn't have a timestamp on that, dude. Like, you can't say I heard her say that, and so everything that happened before finding that vase in his office is covered. Like, the only chance I had to get my fingerprints on it after that was yesterday at the Admin Detective Agency. This blend, Godot blend number 107. I've decided it's a little too bitter after all. He's short-circuiting. So ridiculous. Even just looking at the courtroom, like, so ridiculous. Like, what is this, Power Rangers? Or is this a courtroom? I couldn't tell. Order. I accept the defense's request. Bailiff, take this order, man. Wait. Sorry, it's him. Wait a moment, Your Honor. There's no need for that. No need, you say? Precisely. I already know Mr. Wright's fingerprints are on the air. What do you say? Yes, I finally broken him down. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. This guy's nuttier than a fruitcake. You see, it was me all along. I'm the one and only Master Mask. Okay, he's finally fessing up. Good. Again, I wasn't sure how much longer this was going to have to go on for before someone came clean. Hard to say who's more delusional to, him or Ron. You're your own archenemy. I mean, I guess that does actually make some sense. Hard to say who's the bigger fruitcake, him or Ron. Like, Ron's definitely a fruitcake. And not the kind that you get at Christmas time. Hope you all enjoyed my little performance. I'd be laughing, dude. You're about to get jail time. Judge is like, well, Mr. Godot, that's what's Mr. Admay's condition. He's still in the lobby, laughing insanely, Your Honor. Wish I could enjoy the joke as much as he seems to be. Well, it looks like the matter has been settled. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of thief. Nick, you're right after all. Yeah, I guess Mr. Light really wasn't the thief. And, dude, I'm sorry. What the heck was the point of all this? And the game has always done this, dude. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney has always done this. They always give you these ringers. What do you call them? Red herrings. Like, things that have absolutely nothing at all to do with the case. They will throw those, like, roadblocks on there in hopes that you'll just drive over those spikes and spin out. Yeah, the game is messed up because of that, dude. Like, are you kidding me? Completely baloney evidence. And that's part of the reason why the investigations take 5 hours, dude. So giving you a random laundry list of crap that has nothing at all to do with the case. It's baloney, dude. Baloney. Like, why were we even given this? Why did we even obtain this in the investigation if it had nothing to do with the crime? Why? They sent you on a random wild goose chase. That's what it is, a wild goose chase. Sorry, dude, I'm just so frustrated about that. You're wrong, I tell you, of course, the delusional guy. I mean, not exactly wrong so much, but actually not right is what I was really trying to say. He's delusional, dude, just ignore him. The thief, the sneaky, odious thief who's been stealing all the treasures. It's me, I'm him. I'm the one you want. I'm the thief, I tell you. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of those like impersonators. Like people who would impersonate like Elvis and Michael Jackson, like the real Slim Shady, dude. The real Slim Shady. We made reference to my name is, and now we're making reference to the real Slim Shady. Like these imitators who are like, I'm masked. Like they're both basically swearing at this point that they're masked to mask. Obviously, you're not both masked to mask. Even if you're dressed up as him, and even if you think you're him, you really just have mental health problems. Pronounce me guilty, please. Like, I don't know what kind of a kangaroo court you all think this is, but objection! True identity of the thief has already been proven. Please hurry and pass judgment. What are you talking about? I already confessed. I'm the thief, I tell you. Why are you even allowed to speak? At all? Mr. Godot, don't just stand there drinking coffee. Aw. Hey there, Mr. Thief. Yes, sir? If you're really a man, then clean up your own mess. I'm sorry. Afraid I just don't have any idea what you mean. If you're masked to mask, then prove it. That's what it means. Unless you're too dumb to not understand the English language. In addition to your delusions. Yes, sir, I'd be happy to. Can he actually prove it? He says he'll be happy to, Nick. Kinda cute. He's 100% committed to his fantasy. I mean, I would say this is like... Again, either he's putting on an act or he is actually deranged. Good boy, just remember one thing. Boy only gets one chance in his life to become a man. Will nature make a man of me yet? The 45-year-old man says. Or boy, whatever you want to call him. I know that. I'm fatal, I swear. Okay then, talk. We're all listening. Oh well. Let's all have a listen to this confession. Mask to Mask's identity. The truth is, I've been Mask to Mask all along. I mean, you can't prove that I'm not Mask to Mask, can you? You need proof. Are you that thick? When are you going to understand that Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney has illustrated one point? That unless you have evidence, what you say doesn't mean anything. You might as well just be like blowing bubbles. Tall tales, like, yeah. You can't prove that I'm not actually Mask to Mask, can you? I believe the expression is also that you can't prove a negative. It's also, like, logically speaking, you cannot prove a negative. You can't prove that, like, unicorns are not real. You can't prove that Loch Ness Monster is not real. You can't prove that there are no aliens. Because if we see an alien tomorrow, then that's automatically not the case. You can't prove that someone is not Mask to Mask any more than you could prove that they are Mask to Mask. I mean, unless you actually see someone stealing the vase with the mask off, you can't prove it was them. I mean, nowadays they have other evidence that they can rely on to basically put the pieces together to make the case that they are the person wearing the costume, but... I don't have an alibi for the night the urn was stolen. Alright, we already know where the game is headed with this baloney. I donned my costume that night and dancingly descended upon the scene of the crime. Alright. Alright, let's just... try to provide therapy for this guy who clearly needs help. Even though we're a lawyer, let's try to be a counselor for a change. I don't like the direction this trial is taking. Like we're just full on counseling at this point. Like the trial's already over. We're just trying to help this guy with his mental health issues. This is how every trial goes, at least with me anyway. Oh, maybe he can help. Maybe Kiddo can help. You're doing great. Can you help, Kiddo? You only get one chance to testify. If you make it through this with flying colors, I'll keep my promise too. I'll make sure you stay locked up in prison as the one and only true Master Mask. Thanks so much, Mr. Go. I'll do my best. Alright, Mr. Wright, I'm afraid it's time for the cross-examination. And by cross-examination, I mean therapy session. So you do realize that the costume is just that. It's an act. Actors dress up all the time. Alright, let's get through this. Your wife thinks you're delusional. She knows better. She's only in it for the money. I haven't told her about my true identity, believe me. The way your room is decked out, how could she not know about it? Even these have complicated family situations, I suppose, which I do. It sounds like we're about to get sidetracked. Always press him. Why are you holding the truth from your wife? I don't think she'd believe anyway. My head's so far up in the clouds, even she can't reach me. Second, if there's one thing that Desi absolutely detests, it's criminals. If that's the case, then why'd you ever start thieving to begin with? Desi's crazy about shopping. Yeah, I know. No. Exactly. If you make a claim, you have to back that claim up with proof. Otherwise, you're just talking and wasting everyone's time. Sorry. This is such bull, dude. I'm sorry. Okay. I believe this wallet is something we could use. Take that! The wallet. It's your wallet. Yes. You're Patrick Star. Yes. It reminds me of that episode with what's it called? Evil Man Ray. And the joke is that Patrick is so dumb. That Man Ray is not able to do something good. He is not able to complete an act of citizenship. He's not able to complete his good deed because Patrick is so freaking dumb. And I feel like that's how Ron is in this whole exchange. This is your wallet. Yes. So you must be Ron Delight. Yes. So you were in this building. No. What? I'm Master Mask. I was in two places at once. Alright, can we just wrap this up, please? The guy has already been found guilty, dude. He's a waterproof alibi. Considering the distance between Lordly Taylor and KD's security, it would have taken 30 minutes to get there by car. According to Larry, Who's Larry? I don't know. Oh, Mr. Godot, do you have anything to say? Stop drinking that coffee. We're trying to wrap this case up. That's taking forever and a day because we're trying to also do counseling and therapy sessions in the middle of our trial. Like, it's so stupid. Come on, Mr. T. Don't let the guy beat you. Tell him why he's wrong. You're a prosecutor. You should know. He needs evidence. You're the only one who calls me thief, Mr. Godot. All right, I'll try. I'll do it. I will. He's really got Mr. Delight all worked up. Yeah, he's like a kid at his first day of school. Looks just ridiculous. Why would I have dropped my wallet at KB Security? Someone must have planted it there to make it look like I was there and not at the heist. Planted it there? He's really reaching now. You probably dropped your wallet when you took it to use this, didn't you? The key card to the CEO's office. No. Ah, that was a pretty good try, Mr. Wright. Fortunately, you've overlooked one small thing. Like, why would he even be in that office to begin with? The proof is, the fact of the matter is, he's not a thief. He's not a thief. Come on. Let's try to act like we're professionals. Yeah. Yeah. Why is Godot reacting this way? If anything... Yeah. He should have been shutting it down. Like the Drake song. He should have been shutting it down, dude. Do not let this guy come in here and try to bring out all of his emotional baggage for everyone else to try to freaking solve, dude. That's not what a good prosecutor would do. And what are you doing, too? Order, order, order!
Objection!
And he's still objecting for some reason, I don't know. He's short-circuiting. You say that people are being blackmailed by the CEO of the security company. Did you actually investigate the CEO at all? No, because we don't have 100 years to investigate. Collecting random pieces of evidence that have no relevance to the case. Meeting people that have nothing to do with the crime. Investigating random people that have absolutely nothing to do with anything. Yeah, I'm sure that's what a good defense attorney would do. Completely waste the client's time. That'd be great if they could do that. Accusing a man of blackmail with no proof. What do you call this? Hello? Godot, are you there? We have the letter, dude. Saying needs to track down the CEO. No, we don't. And again, you wouldn't have to do that because he entered the offices at 1 a.m., dude. Why would they need to do that? Is it the wife? Oh God, Larry Butts. Okay. Yeah, he was working the night of the crime. Oh my gosh, dude. And this is just stuff that they can just completely cut out of the game, too. The investigations are too long. The trials are too long. We're spending time talking about and discussing things that have absolutely no relevance to the case, indulging people's fantasies and trying to help them with their personal and mental health problems. Random people coming and going, like, I don't even know what. Yeah, he was in another case. He's in this case. He's working as a guard at this place. That's the key card that they use in the building I work. This is for the CEO's office. You need to get into the room, and every time you use the card, it leaves a record. Tells you exactly when into the room and when. So why couldn't Phoenix just say that? You know, with Larry Butts said this. If necessary, they can call him the witness stand, but I mean, I don't think in real life they would even bother even indulging it. Like, there's no need to investigate the CEO of KB Security. Why would they? Should analyze the keycard data. Let's not waste a bunch of time. Oh, Mr. Goodall, can we finally leave? Are we finally done? The name of the CEO of KB Security is Kane Bullard. Wow, you're smart. Weren't even able to contact him. That's good. I got the keycard data. What does it show? Each card has its own serial number and they leave detailed records of their use. According to this data, the card was used at 1 a.m. on the morning of the time. Keycard data updated to make a record. Bannerun's wallet. Not Walmart, sorry. Wallet. Used on October 12th, the night of the crime at 1 a.m. That means it can't be Mr. Delight dressed as Mask in this photo. So again, he ripped the logo off himself. That may did, which is definitely possible. Maybe they should have been testing that for fingerprints. I don't know. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah, well, I'm glad we have that figured out. Embarrassing. Like, you know, we're embarrassing. Like, I'm glad we were finally able to confirm what we already knew. That was good. Good that we got on the same page. It's impossible for the defendant to be masked and masked. Woo! Let's give it up for Captain Obvious, ladies and gentlemen. Woohoo! Godot, we were waiting for him to tell us what everyone already knew. That he's not masked to mask. Like, was there anyone at home watching this episode or playing this game that did not already know that he was not masked to mask? His gold digger of a wife is even claiming he's delusional. Like, even she knows. And that's the second time he said that. Yeah. He's like, are there any other objections before I go on repeating myself endlessly until the end of time? No, Your Honor, please, just pass judgment. For goodness sake, just pass judgment, please. We're done here. Ignore this mentally deranged young man. He needs professional help that this court is not able to provide. Very well. Sorry for wasting everyone's time, everyone. I'll finally do my job as a judge. Good job, Judge. Passing judgment. Yeah. Finally. You're right after all. Actually, I'm a little bit ashamed. Nicky boy. Mr. Light. I knew you could do it. I believed in you all along, Nicky boy. So she calls him Nick. The other girl calls him Nicky boy. His name's not Nick. I don't know where she got that. Got a bad feeling. He's asked, who is this woman? She's nobody. She's just neighborhood gold digger. That's all. Like, I don't know. And she needs to do something to get her husband under control, too. That is kind of outrageous. Like, I know you're only in it for the money, but for the rest of our sakes, please talk to your husband. Or at least refer him to counseling services or something. Do something other than take all of his money. She brought back to earn. Please, you're embarrassing me. I mean, he's not even a kid so much as a deranged individual. How old is he? 23. They're both 23. I mean, I don't know any 23-year-olds who act like this. I'll just be honest. About 3:47. Is it ever going to end? Oh my gosh. It's Mr. Wright, kiddo. Okay, finally we got past all the baloney. Earlier this morning, the body of Kane Bullard was discovered. Kane Bullard? Where have I heard that name before? Isn't that the name of the CEO of KB Security? Body? Yeah, and I kind of hate Maya's part and Pearl's parts. They're kind of like tedious and annoying. I don't know why they were put in the game. Estimated time of death was 1 a.m. on October 12th. First, 1 a.m. on October 12th. You don't mean... That's right, amigo. Same time the cheap little arm was being stolen, the CEO of KB Security is being murdered. What are you doing here? Oh, come on, you figured it out already, haven't you, amigo? Or have you already forgotten about the piece of info I helped you out with today? Help me out, what? At 1 o'clock in the morning, Ron DeLight was in the CEO's office to see the murderer, so he's going to be wanted again for murder. What is the CEO even doing there at 1 a.m.? I know where this is going. I know exactly where the game is going. I mean, I won't say his song is nice, but yeah. Surely you won't be back down from a challenge. You've never been a coward. No, I just love having to constantly defend people who, frankly, have no touch with reality. I like defending people who have lost completely lost touch with reality and who don't know who they are and claim to be people they're not. That is a life goal, a life accomplishment has been reached. Okay, I've returned from the dust of hell to do battle. At least let me have some fun while I'm here. I mean, it sure does feel like it, doesn't it? They just keep rambling on and on about who knows what. And again, what are you doing when all this is happening? You're the worst wife ever, dude. You're only in it for the money. You don't know or care what your husband does. He's running around, skulking around security offices at 1 a.m., being accused of all manner of random crimes and murdering people, and you don't know where he is because you're only in it for the money. Like, you should at least know where your significant other is at that time of day. I have a funny feeling, Phoenix. Yeah, to be continued. Finally. The episodes are getting too long. Like, the trials are too long. The investigations are too long. It's all too long. I said that in the last episode. I'll say it again in this one, too. It's hard to keep it to an hour anymore. Like, how long was this episode? Let me check. Hold on. Come on. There you go. 2 hours. 2 hours. So, yeah, it's very hard for us now to keep it to 1 hour because the episodes are like twice as long. At least as the Resident Evil episodes I'm doing. And I much more prefer that style of game because they give you more opportunities to save. It's a lot easier to control the time of the episode. With this, I feel like you're locked in. You're completely locked in until it says to be continued. You're locked in the trials. You're locked in the investigations. And they're just too long. Like I've said that before. I'll say it again. They are too long. They have too many sidetracks. They have too many, what do they call them? Like different branches, different paths to explore. Yeah. Like in real life, there are like limitations around the cases. Like for actual criminal proceedings, they only look at the details that are relevant to the case. They don't call witnesses to the stand that don't have some important take on the crime that occurred. They don't present evidence in court that has nothing to do with the crime. Like, here's some toast that I didn't get to eat today. I just, wanted to show it here in court for show and tell. Like, they do not do that in courts of law. A certain standard of professionalism is expected to be upheld in a courtroom. Like, I would say basically every judge would not tolerate that in their courtroom. Like, they would not. They'd be like, this has nothing to do with the case. This is completely irrelevant. I'll see if I can look it up too. What the term is. Okay, so can a lawyer who argues pointlessly be held in contempt? Hmm. I mean, I think so. I believe that they can hold lawyers in contempt for um, having pointless arguments. I think they can. A judge can. I've never actually been in a court when that was the case. I've never been a judge or lawyer, so I don't know. I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who's just observing this. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they can. So thanks for watching, guys. This is Stormer Show signing off. We made it through another one. I'm just gonna be glad y'all when this series is over because good gravy. They're just too long.